It's great to be here in Miami, one of my favorite places, Florida, my second home. I'm here all the time. A community for which I've always had tremendous affection. I have so many friends. And it's also a great honor to be here with the veterans of the Bay of Pigs Association. They've been through a lot. They understand life. They've learned about life, haven't they? So thank you all very much. I understand that the brigade has never endorsed a candidate for president in the past before me. That's a lot of years. That's a lot of years. So it means something maybe even more so. I'm humbled by this endorsement from true freedom fighters. That's what you are. Freedom fighters. Start by thanking each and every veteran of the Bay of Pigs in attendance today in fighting to liberate Cuba. You were fighting for the values of freedom and liberty that unite us all, the same values that are at stake in our election, where I'm hearing we're doing very, very well. And in Florida, the number of people at the voting booths are massive, the biggest they've ever seen. And a lot of them are wearing Trump buttons and hats and shirts. So I assume they're voting for us, right? I say us, because that's who they're voting for us, not me, they're voting for us. Make America great again, that's true. I'd like to recognize Humberto and to, as president of the brigade, a while too. 2506, that's a special number, huh? 2506. I was given that. And I was given it with great pride. People are very proud of that. The Veterans Association and veterans of the brigade, you provide such great leadership, incredible leadership, for the community. And the community, I have to tell you, is very proud of you. I know that for a fact, because when I had mentioned to some of my friends, two of whom are Cuban American, that I was coming over, he said, "That's a big deal, Donald." I said, "I know, you don't have to tell me that." And it's great to be here among fellow members of your sister organizations that make up the Cuban resistance. Great bravery. I also want to recognize the Damas in Blanco. AJ, come on over. Did I say that relatively well? I worked with AJ. She's been great. She's been so strong for us, such a great supporter of you and of us and of the campaign. It's been amazing. We're ladies in white, as we would say. The wives, mothers, daughters, and sisters of political prisoners who march quietly to the church every Sunday dressed in white. All too often in Cuba, they are subject to physical and verbal violence and abuse by government-sanctioned mobs. I just saw a picture just today. People being beaten up, women being beaten up, and they're dressed in white, and they're being beaten up. You probably saw the same pictures. It just happened. I'm in a room of heroes, true heroes. Cuban Americans converted Miami into the capital of political exiles who flee from tyranny. Unfortunately, Hillary Clinton turns a blind eye to the human rights violations that occur every single day. She turns a blind eye to a lot of things. Organizations of the Cuban resistance have struggled for decades to depose the Castro regime. But it's at hand, to free the Cuban people and to restore truth and justice to the daily life of its citizens. What you are asking for is right, and what you are asking for is just. The United States should not prop up the Cuban regime economically and politically, as Obama has done and as Hillary Clinton plans to do. They don't know how to make a good deal. They wouldn't know how to make a good deal if it was staring them in the face. And she will be every bit as bad as him, if not worse. The pictures along the walls here represent sacrifices made for freedom. I won't forget that, and I won't forget them. Another issue that unites us today is the issue of government corruption. Those fleeing oppression, whether it be in Cuba, Venezuela, or anywhere else, understand firsthand the dangers to liberty when government officials are above the law. This election is, among many other things, a referendum on the corruption of Hillary Clinton, and you see it happening more and more and more. A terrible WikiLeaks was just released moments ago, which you'll go home, you'll see it, and you'll be sickened by it, and that she can get away with what she's getting away with. The deletion of 33,000 emails. The FBI's trying to look the other way. There's never been a thing like this in our country's history, but I don't believe they're going to get away with it. I don't believe it will be allowed to get to them. I'm honored to serve as your president, and I will tell you, if I make it, and I think we're going to, I will be very honored to serve as your president. And I pledge to restore honesty and integrity to Washington, D.C. So if I'm so honored, I will promise you, and we'll all be together, we'll all be celebrating together, and so many friends in this room will be celebrating together. Thank you once again for the endorsement. It means so much to me, of the veteran Bay of Pigs Association. I'm fighting to earn that vote, and I will continue to fight to earn that vote. I will never, ever let you down. I'm not going to let you down. And I hope that with that, I think probably most of the people in this room have already voted, but with that, those voting votes you voted. So you're saying, I voted, but a lot of people have voted already, and I just say with that, go out, and if you haven't voted, vote. We're going to do something very historic. This election is going to be amazing. It's going to be something. They're already opening their eyes to say, what's going on? What's going on? They're asking that question. I'm sort of saying, we had a rally last night in Tampa, many of you, so we set the record, this massive arena. We set the record. The owner came up, he said, we've never had anything like this. And the people were flowing out into the streets. And the same thing in many different areas of Florida and everywhere else. Well beyond Florida and everywhere else. And there's a groundswell like they've never seen in this country before. You know, some of the pundits have said, Bill O'Reilly said the single greatest political phenomena that he's ever witnessed. That's a big statement. He said, you mean the single greatest? He said the single greatest. And many others have said the same thing. Many others that truly dislike me have even said it. So we have a movement going on like no other than we've ever seen in this country. And November 8th and days leading to November 8th, because so many places are voting early. But days leading to November 8th, this will be, I really believe it will be historic. And we will, in fact, make America strong again, make America wealthy, rich again, which sounds crass. But we have to build up our military, and we have to save your Social Security and your Medicare and all of the things that we have to save. We have to help our veterans who are being treated horribly. Make our nation wealthy again, and we're going to make America great again. And it won't take long, believe me, it won't take long. We have such unbelievable people in this country. So thank you all. It's one of the truly great honors. I appreciate it very much, and I will see you soon. Thank you.